I ain't even bring my phone. So.
Alright. Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.
First and foremost, we're going to start by giving all praise and honor and glory to the Most High,
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Shem, Rakokadash.
That belongs to Apostles and Elders of the Great Millstone. Peace salutations to all sincere Akim, enduring afflictions, making the call what you sure. To Lord Kabar,
Brother Itazaka,
Brother Quan, and just rolling in the spirit.
This Psalms 48 and 14. For this Yahweh is our power forever and ever. He will be our God even unto death.
God, it says Yahweh is our power, man, forever and ever. So this thing is perpetual, man. This thing ain't gonna stop, man. You know, people talking about, yeah, you know, Most High, he don't care about certain things. He don't care about pork. He don't care about us eating shrimp. He could shape our face. Nah, man. He doesn't change, man. This is his thing. This is the thing that happens from the foundation of the earth, man. All right. He isn't a person that's gonna say he's gonna do something and he turns around and not do it. All right. Only time I could think about Nineveh, he ended up still destroying Nineveh. So, all right. So he's not gonna say he's gonna do something and not do it, man. You know. So men of the Lord, all right. That's something that we have to understand and have that faith.
It's Malachi chapter 3, verse 6. For I am the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, I change not. Therefore your sons of Jacob are not consumed. God, so yeah, the Heavenly Father, he ain't gonna change, you know. He's gonna always perform his word, you know. Like the ox said, if the Heavenly Father said he's gonna do something, he's gonna do it. And he said he's not gonna forsake the nation of Israel. Or he said he'll never forsake the nation of Israel, you know.
This is Second Ezra 8 and 22. It says, whose servant is conservant in wind and fire, whose word is true, and sayings constant, whose commandment is strong, and ordinance fearful. You know, and that's just, hey man, the Lord statutes and commandments, man. This thing was put in place for a reason. It's not going to change, man. You know, he's not going to say, oh yeah, you can eat pork now, you can eat shrimp now. You know, that's not going to change. All right, the prophecies, all right, the things that's been said to happen is going to happen, man. That's not going to change. Oh yeah, you know what? The mark of the beast. Yeah, it's more than a chip. It's something else now. It's something physical. It's something spiritual too, man. Nah, man. If you preaching that, yeah, you're gonna get put to death out of it, man.
It's Deuteronomy 10 and 12. And now Israel, what does the Lord thy power require of thee, but to fear Yahweh thy power, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve Yahweh thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of Yahweh and his statutes which I command thee this day for thy good. Because our people believe that these laws, statutes, commandments are a burden. They think they're set to trip us up, to make us uncomfortable, to mess our lives up, right? But these laws, statutes, commandments, as it says right here, is for our own good. Pork messes up your body. You should have a day of rest. You shouldn't eat abominable foods. A man and a man shouldn't be together. A woman and a woman shouldn't be together. Women should not run the household. They should be under men. Brothers should love each other and forgive one another. These are rules, but at the same time, it's for our own good, because it's for our own good. Just put it to you that way. And it seems like all these other nations, they, in some way, shape, or form, are applying our laws to help them out. But our people, we not applying none of the laws. You got the Edomites. They don't eat pork. They got their women dressed up in subjection. All the other nations, they got their women in subjection. All these other nations are taking parts of our laws, and it's helping them establish themselves. The most important, the most important law is the second most important law is loving your brother, and that's the law that all the other nations keep. All the other nations keep that among themselves, but our people, we can't even keep that one. The most important one, we can't keep that. But all the other nations, they're using our laws for their good, but we can't do it. Well, won't do it.
Come on, bro. This is the land back. This is 1 John 5 and 3. This is for this is the love of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. Right? His commandments are not grievous, man. You know, we're in this system, man. This hell, man. Babylon, all right? America, man. And it has what? Well over 1,000 laws, all right? But we have only 613 laws, and this is supposed to be something that's a burden. It's impossible for us to keep. I mean, we understand in this captivity, we're not able to keep the law to the higher standard, all right? But we should be striving to keep the law to the best of our abilities, man. And it says it's not grievous, man. You know? On top of that, you gotta have faith, you know? The brother talking about, oh yeah, you're supposed to eat till you can't eat till you get full, which he didn't understand, you know? But ultimately, look, hey, as the brother was saying, this law is put in place for a reason, all right? Gluttony, that's you eating too much. You eating to where it's like, there's no reason for that. You know, there's no reason for us to eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, all right? Man and man to be together, there's no reason for that. What purpose is that? You know, man and a woman is supposed to be together. Why? This is for procreation, for life. Two men to be together, that's just death, man.
It's Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my power commanded me, that they should do so in the land whether ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. God, so yeah, man, this Yahweh Shemashai gave us this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding for us to be the example to these other nations. Like the Op was saying, the brother McQuarrie was saying, you got these other nations, they upholding the law, statute, commandments better than you uphold the law, statute, commandments. You was given the law, statute, commandments. That should be complete. You know, you should be ashamed. You know, that should make you ashamed. You know,
That's right. This law was given to us, man. It was given to these Edomites, these Ishmaelites, Moabites, Edomites, Hamites. You know, it was given to us, man. This is Psalm 89 and 34. It says, my covenant will I not break, nor alter the thing that is gone out of my lips. Man. And what's that covenant? We know the covenant was from Abraham, Isaac, and to Jacob. You know, in Hebrews it talks about that new covenant. What was that for? That's for Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. The 12 tribes of Israel. Man. So the covenant isn't for these other nations, all right? Romans 9:4. Who are the Israelites? Who pertains to the law, the covenant, giving you the promises. So these other nations, man, they could try their best to make it so they're so-called more righteous, all right, than wicked jakes out here. But ultimately, they just don't have it, man. They don't got that salt, you know? What's it on there? Let's get verse 35. In Psalms 89, it says, once have I sworn by my holiness that I will not lie unto David. Verse 36, his seed shall endure forever, and his throne as the sun before me.
yeah. So it's a his read it one more time.
Con. It says, let me start 35.
Yeah, con.
Once I have sworn by my holiness that I will not lie unto David.
Yeah, he said he swore by his holiness that he should not lie to David. You know, Yahweh, the Heavenly Father, you know, he's definitely the holiest of the holy. All right, so he put that on everything, like Jake said. You know.
Verse 35. 36. His seed shall endure forever.
His seed shall endure forever. So, you know, what's the seed? What's the seed of Jacob? The 12 tribes of Israel, which represents the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians. So we ain't gonna never be done away with. You know, like Scripture said, if you can count the stars that's in heaven, then will he do away with Israel? Your ass ain't counting the stars in heaven. All right, just let that go.
They try their best. You know what I'm saying?
God.
They try to go to the deepest of the oceans.
God.
They ain't run to the Leviathan thing yet, but hey, it's coming. Don't worry, Esau. You're gonna run to the Leviathan, man.
That's right.
And just to land back, I mean, hey, this thing is about order, man. You know, these nations. I mean, Deuteronomy 32 tells you. I mean, everything was based upon. All right, the division of the nations was based upon Israel, man.
God.
You know, and ultimately it starts from who? From our Lord Yahweh Shah, of course, the Most High Yahweh, all right? Our Lord Yahweh Shah, and that throne of David, that by Yahweh, that seed. You know, the seed of David. What came out of the seed of David? You know, Yahushua. He's the Revelations 22. It says he's the root and the seed.
Oh yeah, Khan. That's right. Yep. Khan.
That was, man. well, you just read 36 again. It says, his seed shall endure forever, and his throne as the sun before me.
As the sun before me, man. And that's brightness, man. You know, so, hey, the nation of Israel, man, basically in so many words, we ain't going nowhere, you know. Well, regardless of how you so-called white people feel about it or how you heathens feel about it. All right, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, he's not dealing with you so-called white people. He's not dealing with you heathen. All right, and he ain't forsaking his people. He's not gonna forsake his people. He's gonna forever be with us. You know?
Right. It's second Esdras 9 and 11. It says, and they have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and when his yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. The same must know it after death by pain. And that's you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. Right now is a chance to come back, so you figure you got time to get to it. You're going to keep putting it off. So right now, you're despising coming back. You're putting it off. You loathe the law. You think the law is set up to hurt you. You're going to know. You're going to know it was meant to save you by pain when you get death. Okay, when you get death, when you see those missiles coming, when you in the concentration camps, when you starving to death and you got to eat your children or your wife or your son or your husband or your homos, or you get eaten by your children, or the troops kicking the door, martial law, kill you, then you're going to know that you should have been keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Then you're going to know prophets have been among you. You should have been listening to the prophets. You're going to be looking for the men of the Lord in that day.
Right, bro. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a big I told you so, you know, on that day, man. When they have to, hey, ultimately, you know, all of Israel is going to be saved, but 2/3 of our people, they're going to have to just, hey, they have to taste that pain by death, man. That lake of fire, man. You know, and they, hey, they're going to just come to the loins. You know, men of the Lord, no one with those men, you know. They have to come through the bowl sack, all right, of men of the Lord, man. And it's going to be a shameful thing. Y'all going to be good at that point, but, I mean, who wants to go through that, man? I'd rather not even taste that death, you know, Lord willing, you know.
This is Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 5. For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech and of an hard language, but to the house of Israel, not to many people of a strange speech and of an hard language, whose words thou cannot understand. Surely had I sent thee to them, they would have hearkened unto thee. So Yahweh Shemashah saying, he sent the prophets, the men of the Lord, to the house of Israel, you know, and not just any man. He ain't sent to you no big, eloquent, you know, PhD, having MBA, whatever the top degree is, having people. He sent to you people with speech that you can easily understand, you know. We know easily what these niggas talking about, you know. Like we can understand every, you know, dialogue they come with, you know. So Yahweh Shemashah made it plain for you to understand. He made this easy for you, you know. But you still don't want to hearken, you know. But here it is, you go to one of these heathen nations, you know, and tell them that their God showed their people, you know, and they need to turn back and serve the Lord, so they can receive salvation, and they'll do it, you know.
That's right.
And they not even chosen, and they not even the chosen, you know.
Matter of fact, last week we was at camp, or 2 weeks ago we was at camp, and then Ishmaelite came up, and he heard where Israel are, and what we was getting, this, that, and the third. He was like, how do I do it? I want to be an Israelite. It's an Ishmaelite. He was wanting to be down.
Yeah.
But Jake's, nah, this ain't for me. I gotta love everybody. My master's white. Nah, I can't get down with this right here. But heathen would jump at the chance to get a part of this birthright. That's wild.
That's just how you know that's our people, man. The stiff-necked people, childish children, man.
This is Sirach 39 and 24. As his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked.
You know, this thing's supposed to be plain, man. You know, only a certain chosen select few of men, all right? They're gonna understand it, hearken to it, all right, and apply it, man. You know, but the wicked, all right, these 2/3 jakes, it's just gonna make them stumble. Like, nah, you telling me the Most High, He cares about me eating pork, or you know what, that beard thing, I'm not down with it. Like, okay,
That's what He loves you.
hey, that's the stumbling block. You're gonna fall into that pit, you know.
Oh, slut. Nah, that was
I
it.
want to jump back to what you're saying. It's back in Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 7. It says, "But the house of Israel would not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me. For all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted. Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and their foreheads strong against their foreheads. As an adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead. Fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house." You know? So Yahweh Shimei Shai, he set Jacob like that, man. You know? What was that piece that you just brought out? As his ways are plain unto the holy. You know what I'm saying?
That was Sirach. That was, yeah, Sirach 39.
Yeah, time. You read it one more time, brother.
Sirach 39 and 24, as his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked.
Yeah, they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. So Yahweh Shimei Shai, he made these niggas like that just so, cause he didn't want them to receive it. You know, like the Op was saying. You know, they was made to be wicked. They let the multitude of parents that was born in vain. You know, so ultimately Yahweh Shimei Shai made these niggas hard-hearted and hard-minded like that. Why? Because that's that stumbling block. You know. He set a stumbling block before them, you know. That's why it's not plain to them, you know. Even though it could be plain and understanding to a heathen, but it's not even plain and understanding for you niggas who was given the law. That's crazy, you know.
They was giving loaded dice.
You said what?
They was giving loaded dice.
Yeah, yeah, that's wild, you know what I'm saying. Yahweh Shimei Shai telling you how these niggas is. They for all the house of Israel is impudent and hard-hearted. He let you know like this is what these niggas are. I made them like that, matter of fact. You know?
Right. It's a fearful thing, man. Because, you know, not only just niggas that's in the world, there's niggas who think that they in this truth, man, but they still in the world. They know that they Israelites, but they don't believe, all right, in Yahweh Shai. They don't believe in the New Testament, man. They don't believe in the Old Testament, which I don't understand the logic in that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, how you not believe in the Old Testament? But you know, you got Jakes that they come in a whole different spirit, man. Talking about Esau is not the white man, just whole different types of doctrines, man. Understanding about the mark of the beast, that's not from Chip, you know. I mean, that's one of the biggest prophecies you can see. Like, this is something that, hey man, it should really boost your faith, seeing that these prophecies are coming to pass, but you don't even see it, man. It's just a stumbling block.
This is Ezekiel chapter 14, verse 9. "And if the prophet be deceived when he have spoken a thing, I, the Lord Yahweh, have deceived that prophet, and I will stretch out my hand upon him, and will destroy him from the midst of my people Israel. And they shall bear the punishment of their iniquity. The punishment of the prophet shall be even as the punishment of him that seeketh unto him."
Hey, man, that's horrible, man. To be called to be a prophet, but you're being deceived. You called to be a deceived prophet. Like, that's your purpose, just to be a deceived prophet, man. You're out here just preaching heresy, man. Like, that's your calling. Like, that's man, you better off just being in the world. That's the case. Be a nigga. What you are.
Say what? I said, we live it up like Ja. Oh, my niggas, I be living it up.
That's right. That was it on that?
Yeah, those.
I got one. This is St. Matthew 13 and 10. "Who hath ears to hear, let him hear. And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, the Lord Yahushua, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given." Verse 12 says, "For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away, even that he hath." Let me just get 13. It says, "Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand."
That's what we talking about, man. A lot of these niggas out here, man, just professing to be Israelites, basically teaching the wrong thing, because they don't even have the understanding. But the spirit was on them to teach. Like, come on, man. It's like 1 + 1 is 2, but you teaching 1 + 1 is 700. Like, you're just trying to figure something out right along the way. Like that's just, hey, Drew out here, man.
Just to jump down, verse 15 it says, "For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart." And that right there, you see the heart is the mind. How you understand with your heart, that's how you know that's the mind. "And should be converted, and I should heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear." I'm just reading all of this. It's actually good, but that was the point. Ultimately,
Particular men who have this understanding, that's a gift. That's a blessing, man. All right, because not everyone has the ears to hear.
God. Yeah, you got something, bro?
Yeah, that one. This Revelations chapter 3 verse 20. "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come in to him and will sup with him, and he with me." So Yahweh Shah said, if you can hear that knock at the door, if when I knock at the door and you hear it, all right, and you open the door, I'm gonna come in. But if I knock at the door and you don't answer the door, that's on you. You didn't hear the knock. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta be one of those men that had the ears to hear. If not, you're not gonna be converted and healed. Like the just brought up. Let me get this in Zechariah. This Zechariah chapter 7 verse 11. "But they refused to hearken and pulled away the shoulder and stopped the ears that they should not hear. Yeah, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, lest they should hear the law and the words which the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Shema Shah, have sent in his spirit by the former prophets. Therefore came a great wrath from the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Shema Shah. Therefore it is come to pass that as he cried and they would not hear, so they cried and I would not hear, said the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Shema Shah." And it's gonna happen again. Yahweh Shema Shah. Because right now, Jake, it said their heart is as adamant stone. That's a hard ass rock, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't break that. You know what I'm saying? You can't break through an adamant stone. That's these niggas' minds. It says they pulled away the shoulder. They stopped up the ears, just like that northerner who walked by yesterday.
Oh, man.
McQuarrie was like, "Shit, you got kids?" He said,
Yeah.
like, he didn't even care. You remember?
No, he held up his hand like 3.
Oh, for real?
Oh, he said 3?
Oh, okay. It looked like he was,
Yeah, I thought he
just
threw
kinda
up the
waving
yeah,
it. Like,
yeah.
He had 3 fingers and he's like this.
Wow, but that's still, he refused to hear. So if you got, we're talking about your kids right here. So you should have been like, "Oh, what you mean? What you mean about my kids? What's up with my kids? Like, what the fuck you asking me about my
concern,
kids?"
like, yeah, that's crazy.
He pulled away the shoulder. He refused to hear. He stopped up ears. He just kept walking down the street. All right, so the same way they didn't want to hear, that's the same way Yahweh Shema Shah not gonna hear when he bring that wrath upon you and your kids. You be crying, God, please help me. Nah, you should have listened when you had. I tried to help you. That was that knock at the door.
Can't just get believers when they start bleeding.
Huh?
This is a quick one right here. It's Matthew 22:14. "For many are called, but few are chosen."
Woo! That's a cold thing, man. Some people could be called to be in this part. They just out in the world. You know what I'm saying? But they already, hey man, they're not chosen anyway. So, hey man, it's a good thing you didn't answer that call because you wasn't even chosen. You know what I'm saying? But some folks who actually answer that calling, they go out there for like a week and then just, go back in the world. Then, hey man, you're not chosen, my man.
Yep. How that scripture go? That endure for the moment, but when temptation come, I think that's Mark the 3rd chapter. You know what I'm saying? They choke the word. Yeah. It's 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 20. Select it. This select it, bear with me. Bear with me. Okay. Let me do it. Like you, brother. Like it's second Timothy chapter 2 and verse 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 20. But in a great house there are not only vessels of gold and of silver, but also of wood and of earth, and some to honor and some to dishonor. You know, so in the great house, which the great house represents the nation of Israel, you know, you got some vessels which are to honor and some are to dishonor. And the dishonorable vessels are those who refuse to hearken to the laws, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Shema Shah, refuse to hearken to the word, refuse to hearken unto Yahweh Shah, you know, refuse to hearken unto the truth. You know, those who want to continue to believe a lie, those are the dishonorable, you know, and that they're wood and stone, which wood and stone, they're not going to be able to endure through fire, because we're going through a baptism by fire right now, you know. So the wood and stone, they're going to be burnt up through the purging process, you know, because they're not honorable vessels. So, you know, that's that fake go, that's that fugazi, you know. It says, verse 21, if a man therefore purge himself from these, he shall be a vessel unto honor, sanctified and meet for the master's good use, and prepare unto every good work. And these guys not sanctified for every good work. You know, they're not made for the master's use. All right, why? Because Yahweh Shema Shah made their hearts hard-hearted. They was made to be dishonorable. You know, brute beasts who were made to perish, pretty much, ultimately. You know.
Right, bro. It's a cool thing, man. Because I mean, being an Israelite, man, this is your birthright. So you playing with the only thing that sets you apart from everybody else, man. All these other nations, they can't do anything to get that birthright. That's nothing that they could do. No riches. They could know the Bible front and back, man. That don't mean nothing.
Have black friends.
Have black friends. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I mean, this is something. If you playing with it, if you thinking that this is just something to take lightly, then hey, man, you that vessel that was made for destruction, man. You know. Because these heathens, I'm gonna get this and you got something? You got one?
This is Matthew 12 and 30. He that is not with me is against me, and he that gathereth not with me scatter abroad. So you're not with us, you're not with Yahweh Shema Shah, you against us. Everybody talking about something, man, you do your own thing over there, I'm gonna do my own thing over here. No, ain't none of that. It's only two sides, Satan and Yahweh Shema Shah. If you ain't with us, you with Satan. It ain't no middle ground, ain't no other teams aside from Satan. And if you ain't with us, you against us. And everybody against us is gonna be scattered abroad. Y'all gonna have to feel that destruction. All that destruction is coming. Y'all gonna have to be a part of that.
No man can serve two masters. So you gotta make that decision. You know, that's not on anybody else to choose. No, not your parents, not your friends, not your kids. Your kids can't dictate, right? If you're a man of the Lord or not. That's crazy, man. You celebrating holidays because of your kids. You teaching your kids. The kids ain't teaching you. They don't know nothing. You're supposed to instill in them what they need to know to be prepared for this place, man. You're just teaching them to go with the flow and just be destroyed out here, man. Learning the ways of the heathen, you know.
I was gonna get 2 Ezra 3. You know, that's the new one we bringing out on these heathens.
Oh yeah. Come.
Because these heathens, they're not gonna understand. No matter how much, even if they could go to Catholic dogma school or whatever, you know, they're not gonna get it. They're not gonna have that true. They're not gonna receive that gift. This is 2 Ezra 3 and 32. Or is there any other people that knoweth thee beside Israel? Or what generation hath so believed thy covenants as Jacob? And yet their reward appeareth not, and their labor hath no fruit. For I have gone here and there through the heathen, and I see that they flow in wealth, and think not upon thy commandments. Weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and theirs also that dwell in the world. And so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel.
You know, so that's something that's very important, man. This whole scriptures, man. All these Christian denominations, man. They teaching everything but Israel, man. They're not teaching about that, and this is all throughout the scriptures. The one thing that, I mean, that's something you want to learn, the covenants, man. You want to learn about, all right, who did the Most High make that promise to? You think that would be important, you know? But these Christians, they say you should be a spiritual Israelite. That's like, you could be a spiritual tree.
Or a spiritual Chinese person.
Spiritual Chinese person, man. Like, nah, you a nigga.
Matter of fact, I gotta try that. My application, I'm gonna put Chinese person. And then when I come up to the job, I thought you were Chinese. I'm spiritual Chinese man.
Spiritual. Right.
In my heart, I believe that I'm Chinese. Since that's what we doing out here. In my heart, I believe that I'm a woman. Since that's what we doing out here now.
Right. Dave Chappelle, he said that in his stand-up.
In my heart, I believe I'm a Chinese man. You gonna tell me I'm not? I'm gonna sue you now. I'm gonna take you to court because you telling me that in my heart, I'm not a Chinese man. Now I gotta take you to court.
See how crazy that sounds, man? Spiritual Israelite.
And you gotta play with it. Because Esau has set this madness up, so you gotta go with it.
Right. You see a tranny, a grown nigga wearing a wig, and you gotta call him ma'am.
It was I seen an article the other day where this is transsexual. She told the man she was talking to she was a man. She used to be a man, and he stopped messing with her, and she want to take him to court now.
Yes.
Because now he's a sexist or whatever hate crime, whatever she called it. She's taking him to court now for that. They said he don't want to deal with that because she's a man, or he's a man.
This place gotta go, man. If you want to go with the flow and continue to just be with the status quo, you're gonna get destroyed, man. With the status quo.
Go with the wind, you're gonna be taken by the wind.
That's right.
Just to finish it off real quick. In 2 Ezra 3:35, or when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight? Or what people have so kept thy commandments? Thou shalt find that Israel by name have kept thy secrets, but not the heathen.
So it's just impossible for these heathen to get it, man. These Ishmaelites, they could want it, but they just can't have it, man. You know? And hey, man, you need to hearken on to it, man. Hey, man, anyone has an ear to hear, man. You know, because it's a high time, man. If you playing with this truth, if you know a couple scriptures, if you know you're an Israelite, you still sitting on the couch. Hey, man, you could get put to death, man, today, man. You and your family, man.
You should.
That's right.
Got a death preach.
Come on, bro.
This that was it, bro? This Isaiah 65 verse 7. Your iniquities and the iniquities of your fathers together, said the Lord, which have burned incense upon the mountains and blasphemed me upon the hills. Therefore will I measure their former work into their bosom. And Jake's still doing the same thing. Verse 8. Thus said the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah, as the new wine is found in the cluster.
It's like it. He's gonna measure upon their bosoms. So it's gonna go to their children too. That's why these children out here bugged out.
Yep. That's why you justified in saying your children will get put to death with your ass, you know. That's your bosom, you know. That's you. What say a man is known through his children, you know what I'm saying? Verse 8. Thus said the Lord Yahweh Shemi Shah, as the new wine is found in the cluster, and one said, destroy it not, for a blessing is in it, so will I do for my servant's sake, that I may not destroy them all. So it's something that new wine represents the elect pretty much. You know, those the ones who took heed to the gospel, you know, that's still in the cluster. Because you would, if an old cluster is completely sour and bitter, you can't use it no more, you just gonna destroy it. But if it's still some wine in there that's good for use, you will uphold it. That's the elect. That's the only piece of Israel that's left that's good for use.
That ties into the Amos, I believe, the 9th chapter, where it goes into, I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob. Because it's a remnant in there.
Remnant.
And you go into the word remnant, it means excess. You know what I'm saying? Like something that's left over.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying? Something put aside.
God.
It says, verse 9, and I will bring forth a seed out of Jacob and out of Judah an inheritor of my mountains. That's talking about Yahushua. It says, and mine elect shall inherit it. Woo! Because the elect gonna rule with Yahushua. It says, and my servant shall dwell there, and Sharon shall be a fold of flocks, and the valley of a court a place for the herds to lie down in, for my people that have sought me. But yea, talking about the others outside of the elect, but yea are they that forsake the Lord Yahweh Shemi Shah, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for their troop. And that's talking about all these jakes in here in America, you know, who celebrate Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, you know, into the ways of this society,
birthdays.
like birthdays, kind.
No, they horoscope.
Horoscope?
Yeah.
It's funny, it's the same nigga with the horoscope and the same people that say man wrote the Bible.
Yeah.
But let that horoscope dictate their entire life. But man wrote that shit too.
Right.
Bro.
That's right, bro. That's right. No. So
Strong delusions.
your God, strong delusions.
And you in the truth, you shouldn't be on no horoscope shit.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be talking about I'm an Aquarius. I'm a Gemini. You should not be doing that shit.
Well, I heard it's necessarily it came from Jake. It's not necessarily going up, but we don't prescribe to it. I heard that before. You know, so I don't suggest that. I'm just saying I heard that.
Scriptures
Bro,
pretty clear.
horoscope?
Scriptures are pretty clear about
Bro, the scriptures go into Jasher, right?
Joshua.
Jasher, right?
Jasher?
The book of Jasher, right? You go into that, right?
Shit, I don't remember.
Well, the scriptures say there is a book of Jasher, but the actual
okay.
book of Jasher they got out here is from Esau.
Yeah.
So let's say Jake did make it up.
Yeah.
How Esau is the one, he's the guy behind it now.
Right.
So no matter who made it up, who's behind it now, pushing that rock, that doctrine of it, is Esau.
Right. Well, it's it.
I was just gonna say in First Chronicles, I think it's 14, where it talks about, I think it's Issachar, how they
observe the time.
How they observe the times. Like that's a whole different type of astrology than that horoscope shit. That's way different. That's a whole nother type of witchcraft, man. Talking about, oh yeah, you a Leo, so that means like nah,
Right.
man. They ain't do the same astrology that. All right, our people, right? They wasn't doing it.
You got Jake live by that. Oh, I don't date Leos.
Yeah.
I don't date Aquarius. I only date Capricorns.
Well, scriptures say none shall want her mate. So this all you need right here. You don't need nothing else. Like this got all the horoscope you need in it, bucko. It says, but yea are they that forsake the Lord, Yahweh Shemi Shah, that forget my holy mountain, and prepare a table for that troop. You know, and an example of that, like y'all was talking about the transgenders. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta like spiritual Israelites. That's all preparing a table for that truth. You know what I'm saying? Look, y'all can come over here and chill with us. It's good. I got somewhere for you to sit at. You know what I'm saying? Like it's good over here. You can be what you want to be. That's preparing a table for a truth. That's what Esau teach you. You know? It says, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number. Who is that number? That's the number that's gonna be destroyed. The heathen. all these heathen, because the heathen, all the number of the heathen are going to be destroyed, you know.
Except for the elect of the heathen.
That's right. Verse 12. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter, because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. Therefore thus said the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat, but they shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but they shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but they shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but they shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. And ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen, but the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shah shall slay thee, and call his servants by another name. So that's simple and plain. You know, Yahweh Bashim Shah, he gonna take care of everyone who took heed to his word, you know, and came back unto him, you know, and believed in him, had faith in him, and trusted in him. Everyone else outside of that, you're gonna be numbered to the sword. You're gonna be destroyed. All right, why? Because you didn't want to make an offering and a sacrifice unto Yahweh Bashim Shah. You wanted to make an offering and sacrifice unto the heathen and in heathenistic ways, you know. So therefore, Yahweh Bashim Shah is gonna destroy you, you know.
Right.
Book of Proverbs 3 and 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. All right, so who's the oppressor, man? All these other nations, man, pursuant to Psalms 83rd chapter, man. All these nations were confederate against us. These Ishmaelites, all right, you know, there was an Arab slave trade. You know, these Hamites, you know, they got together with Esau. They're all the oppressor, man. Moabites, you know, they're all furthering our oppression, man. All right, so we're not supposed to be choosing none of their ways, man. All right, none of their witchcrafts, none of their sorceries, all right. These holidays, you know, Halloween, you know, all that shit. Hey, man, you're supposed to be set apart, man. We're supposed to be separate, man. Not supposed to be taking. Hey, man, we got our own customs, man. We got our own high holy days. We got the law, statutes, commandments. This is us.
Oral sex came from the Egyptians. I was looking into that yesterday. The Egyptians came out with oral sex. They made that up.
That's interesting, see? I know that. You know? So ultimately, hey, man, we're not supposed to be choosing none of these heathen ways, man.
Thus saith the Lord.
That's right.
This Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 2. Thus said the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs to be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. For as much as there is none like unto thee, O Lord Yahweh Shema Shah, thou art great. So pretty much, you know, describing how the gods of these heathen nations, they're nothing. You know, all these customs and these ways that they have, you know, they don't mean nothing. You know, don't be scared of that. You know, they just doing it for nothing. You know, so don't do that. You know, it says, for as much as there none like unto thee, O Lord Yahweh Shema Shah, thou art great. Thy name is great in might. Who would not fear thee, O King of nations? For to thee doth it appertain. For as much as among all the wise men of the nations, and in all their kingdoms, there is none like unto thee. So it ain't no God like unto Yahweh Shema Shah. You know, it says, but they are altogether brutish and foolish, and the stock is doctrine of vanities. Everything outside of the way Yahweh Shema Shah is brutish and foolish in a stock of vanity. All right, uselessness. You know, it says, silver spread into plates is brought from Tarshish, and gold from Euphaz, the work of the workman and of the hands of the founder. Blue and purple is their clothing. Select is their clothing. They are the work of cunning man. But the Lord, Yahweh Shai, is the true God. He is the living God and an everlasting King. At his wrath, the earth shall tremble, and the nations shall not be able to abide in his indignation. Thus shall ye say unto them, the gods that have not made the heavens and the earth, even they shall perish from the earth and from under these heavens. You know? So Yahweh Shai, he made the heavens and the earth. These other guys ain't make the heavens and the earth, man. You know? So the ways of these heathen nations, you know, why the hell would you follow them? When the Heavenly Father, he created the heavens and the earth. So the way that he made for you to live on heavens and the earth, that's the way you should be following, you know? Because it's no purpose to follow these other ways. It's just nothing but bullshit, basically. It's just some made up vanity, you know, just nothing, you know?
That's good right there. That's a good point.
Well, with that, I want to give our praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Parkadash, double honors to the apostle and elders of great millstone, rule well, and peace and salutations to the house of David. Shalom to the elect.
Shalom.